Hey everyone, you got the fourth dimension wrong. This video I'm going to explain what the fourth dimension is and how it works and why you're wrong. Everyone thinks, most people think, that the fourth dimension is this hard to conceptualize, usually represented by non-euclidean geometry, right? That's what everyone thinks is the fourth dimension, this thing that we as three-dimensional beings can't measure or see because we're three-dimensional creatures. That's our limit. I disagree with that statement. I had to move my chair so I can move out of the room so I can go into the next room and get a representation of what the fourth dimension is. Give me a moment. I'm doing something. In regards to dimensions, what are dimensions? It's a measurement. It's a thing you can measure with numbers, right? For instance, you can measure the height of something. You can measure the width of something. You can measure the depth of something. And you can measure this so-called fourth dimension that's hard to explain. But that's not what the fourth dimension is. You're wrong if you think it is. Now, if you are a mathematician and you say that, I have trouble believing you. What I was taught, and you're probably already thinking, well, you went to a dumb school. Well, no. I mean, yeah, sort of. No. Look, I don't know how well my schools were compared to the rest of the country or the rest of the world, but I can guarantee you that Texas has one of the most well-funded education programs in the entire country of the United States. And that's what I went to. I think we're the fourth most funded education program. Anyways, what I was taught, look, we're gonna start with the basics, okay? So, what is 2D? What is that? What does 2D mean? Okay, what is that? Well, that's short for two-dimensional, okay? What does that mean? Okay, on the screen here, we got a square. I don't know if you can see that, but we have a square. It is a two-dimensional object. That means that you can measure from here to here, up and down, which is called height, represented by an H. And you can measure from here to here, called width. That's one dimension, and that's the other dimension. Two dimensions, because you can measure those two ways, okay? That's why that's a two-dimensional object, because you can measure from here to here and here to here, okay? That's a two-dimensional object. This is a three-dimensional object, but from this angle, it looks two-dimensional, because it looks like you can only measure from here to here, called height, and from here to here, called width. But if you tilt it forward a little bit, you can see the third dimension now. You can measure from here to here, called depth, okay? That's what makes this a 3D object. One dimension, two dimension, three dimension. That's why it's a three-dimensional object. Those are the three dimensions. Everyone is already agreed on that because you can measure these distances with numbers. But what is the fourth dimension? Well, it's time. Time is the fourth dimension. But you can't measure that. Yes, you can. You can absolutely measure time. See, it's right here. Here's the way to measure the time. Well, what does that look like when you measure it? You can measure the time it takes to get from unsolved to solved. For instance, okay? And that took me a certain amount of time. That is the fourth dimension, okay? That took me, I don't know, about a minute, maybe 2 minutes to solve that. That's the measurement. That is the fourth dimension. How long it takes for one thing to transform into another by way of moving or changing what its shape's like or whatever. That's the fourth dimension. It's the change over time. It's basically a distance between unsolved and solved. Okay, that's the distance. That's the length of time. A minute and 30 seconds is the length of time it takes to get from unsolved to solved. Just like this is, I don't know, 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches in length of the height, width, and depth. And this is wonky. That's it. Just a simple less than 8-minute video, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. I'm not monetized yet, and I don't plan to be. I don't care. Thanks for watching. If this made you mad, leave a like or tell me how I'm wrong. I'll probably ignore it. Probably not. I'll probably respond to it and tell you how I think you're wrong and I'm right, while you tell me I'm getting ahead of myself. If you liked it, show me that you liked it. Hit that like button. If you want to complain to me, if you want to tell me how I'm wrong, if you want to correct me, go ahead and do so. Either way, I'm happy that you're watching. I'm going to add some time after the whole video, just like on what this part right here is just me showing that you can click on this video right here. I don't know. It's something. Check it out. I would appreciate it if you checked it out. Hit subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of my controversial nonsense. Anyways, have a nice day. I'm just gonna